Welcome in to the MPW Digital Postgame Show. Chase Parham and Jeffrey Wright with you right now. Tyler Syski will join us here in a little bit. I think he was going to go talk to John after the game real quick. So as soon as he gets in, he will be with us as well. And then Mr. McCready, when he's done with interviews, already got a lot of writing done because this was a bludgeoning today. I don't know who expected this type of beatdown. I had my brother send me a text. It might be one of Ole Miss's best performances in a long time, period. When you look at all the way around what they did to a pretty solid Tulane team. I mean, look, Tulane is not going to go win the national championship or anything, but this is a group of five contender. This is a very well-coached ball club, and Ole Miss dominated this game from the outset. They dominated physically. Trinidad Chambliss was excellent today. He did everything well, including, we talked all week and in the preseason about the deep ball and what he might or might not do. He was great at that today. He was just tremendous. So we'll go through a lot of those stats. Trinidad Chambliss ends up 17 for 27, 307, 2 touchdowns, still no turnovers heading into LSU next week. He runs for 112 on 14. It was thorough. It was even kind of went on a little longer than I thought. I thought they might pull the starters, but Lane was proving a little point, still running it up there a little bit there at the end. So a ton of stuff to talk about here with this game. We are watching the end of Oklahoma and Auburn right now. That is in the last 2.5 minutes or so. So we've got that up on the screens if you're following along with us. And we're here because of Realtree, Realtree.com. Remember, we give stuff away every single week. We have the ability to tell you guys about the hunting gear, about the new APX. Look, they got Legacy. I've got some of the gear on right here. You can find those things at Realtree.com. Not just camo, lifestyle, fishing, a lot of ways to help you out. They help Ole Miss out, they help us out, and they can help you out too. So really appreciate all of them and everything they do. Jordan family, Tyler, Bill, and those guys. So appreciate them again. Realtree.com. Jeffrey, just completely a thorough ass kicking here today in Oxford.
Yeah, I mean, let me read something for you.
Okay.
8 plays, 75 yards, touchdown. 6 plays, 12 yards, punt. 15 plays, 70 yards, field goal. 6 plays, 18 yards, punt. 7 plays, 34 yards, field goal. 5 plays, 11 yards, punt. 6 plays, 72 yards, touchdown. And then 8 plays, 62 yards, field goal. And then 2 plays, 7 yards, half. That was the first half. That was Ole Miss scoring every single possession. I don't think they punted until the second half. And I think they only punted once.
They punted once, and even that was great. It was a down 54-yarder in this. Lucas Canero hits all of his field goals, including another 54-yarder for him. That ties a career high. Yes, in 2 games, Ole Miss has scored on every first-half possession with Trinidad Chambliss at quarterback. He still hasn't turned it over. And I mean, dude, I thought today, and there's so much to get to. We're just going to kind of be scattershot for a little bit here at the beginning, is we came into this thing, as I mentioned in the opening, talking about the deep ball. And last week, he completed both of them, but they were kind of lollipopped, and we thought, okay, let's see where that goes. Really good touch, not just on the deep ball, but Jeffrey, he did 4 or 5 passes going over the first level and under the second level and really hitting those downfield windows that looked real today from Trinidad Chambliss.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There was a dig route that I felt like when they were going right to left that he kind of tried to thread in there. I think that might have been the only miss, like really bad miss.
That
Everything else,
like a half miss on the ball that got tipped that Stribling caught down the right sideline.
I mean, there's just, I mean, to me, it's like if you're trying to nitpick here, like I don't know what, because listen, you could have talked me into a world where Ole Miss wins this game comfortably. I didn't think I'd be bored the whole game.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, to me, like the biggest question that I had was like, okay, why does he still have guys in there? And I mean, I know that we've talked about this in the past that Lane is typically a guy, the starters stay in there. Like they do, but it did kind of feel like, man, there's not really a point of having Chambliss and Lacey in there. But to me, like, that was about all you could say. And then also, they're not generating a lot of tackles for loss, but I think that's kind of by design. I think they are not. I think they are trying to be more of the keep it in front, bend, don't break, don't give up the explosives. And when you don't have maybe the dominant defensive line that they had like they did last year, I just don't think they're creating as much havoc. But I mean, we are really nitpicking here because that was about as thorough of an ass kicking as I've seen in a long time.
Oh no, a
I mean,
couple things.
it
Yeah,
looked like
like
a
look,
it looked like an FCS game, like the bye game.
I just put rapid reactions up. It's up at Rebels 24/7. Read it later. Stay with us right now. I had one real negative critique, and again, I had to sort of search for one. But the one that I searched for that I think over the course of 4 games now is relevant is that coming into the season, they brought in a bunch of defensive linemen who did not have raw tackles for loss stats. They had analytics that said they could hurry the quarterback, that they had hurried the quarterback, they could get into the vicinity. And we said, okay, well, Randall Joyner, Pete Golding, taking guys that maybe they can take that next step. We haven't seen that next step. They're still rushing really aggressively up the field. They're not finishing at times when they get behind the line of scrimmage. It's kind of what you just mentioned. But from a straight pass rush standpoint, especially, or last week with Taylor Green on that read, they're going to have to be better at finishing those negative plays. That can't turn into 2, 3, 4, 6 yard gains against LSU, against Oklahoma, against some of those teams moving forward. So you want to see, whether it be Prince Will or be Deshaun Womack or be some of those guys, you need to see some finishing from a tackles for loss standpoint when they get in position and they break down and actually get hands on the guy behind the line of scrimmage. You're not seeing that. But outside of that, no, dude, it was just a thorough ass kicking. I mean, we talked about Retzlaff for Tulane, the quarterback. They pulled him pretty early. He ran for 51 yards, but only one of the runs was impactful, and he starts the game 0 for 9. That dude was seeing ghost in the pocket. Ole Miss clogged the middle of the field between the hashes. He rushed a ton of throws. He had 4 yards passing in the first half from a quarterback. I mean, this thing was – Neil looked at me
I think he didn't get his last completion until like that end of the half
play
drive.
of the first half. Yeah.
And it was as non-consequential as a pass could be.
I mean, Neil looked at me at 10-0 and went, this thing is 100% completely over. And he might have said it later than he could have at that point.
No, I mean, to me, I think this was an interesting spot because you did have it sandwiched between kind of an emotional, exhausting game last week. And then obviously next week is about as big as a game gets on, the last week of September. I mean, that's so I did think it was an emotional spot there. But I mean, they just did exactly what you're supposed to do in this kind of game. Like they put this thing away immediately. They didn't fool around. I also thought it was nice to also see Lane not get cute. Like in the first half, all right, he wants to score every possession, but kick the field goal. It was like make it 10-0, move on. Like there wasn't that moment of keeping them around.
It was, I thought a couple plays early really dictated that. And you're right. It's on Ole Miss's first possession. They get that pass on third down. It hits Daquan Wright. They score the touchdown. If you kick a field goal there, we're at least sort of talking about red zone problems in the first half and kicking all the field goals and doing all those things. And then on the other side, like you said, Lane completely took the points when he had it. He trusts Carnero. He can hit from anywhere. He's one of the best kickers in the country. And then on the other side, I think it was big for that defense to get those stops. The one in the red zone that forced Tulane's field goal coming out right there at that point. They don't let that get to 7 and let that get kind of funny for a second. And not funny, but the score tightens where we still have a game.
No, but it could have been like I don't know how much you watched of Thursday Night Football, but like the Miami Dolphins got the game tied at the half against the Bills. And if you were watching the game, you're like, this is not a tied game, but it was. You know what I mean? And so, like, it's one of those things where if you let somebody, like, for instance, look at what happened today, 2 miles, or not even 2 miles, a mile from my house, where Arkansas is all over Memphis. They're in complete control of the game. Then, like, it's almost like they scored too much too soon, and they just kind of, like, stopped playing hard. And all of a sudden, here comes Memphis, and Ole Miss never let that happen today, and hats off to that.
Yeah, again, we'll run through this real quick, and then I'll hit a few super chats. By the way, we have what is about to be a final in Norman, Oklahoma.
That was a brutal push for me.
Oklahoma with a safety with 106 to go. Oklahoma is up 24-17 and about to get the football. It's again, I want to stay on Ole Miss a little longer before we get into these other games, but oh my God, the officiating was so pro Oklahoma in this game. By the way, my God, at the missed pass interference, all these different things, and still it was not enough. As a pretty gutty win here for Oklahoma against Auburn at home in this thing. So, wow,
Yeah, I mean, they got every break you needed to get. I mean,
they did.
The fumble, the overturn on what would have been the defensive score.
Did you like that call or not?
I thought it was a fumble 6.
Okay.
I thought he had control of the ball. Ball was stripped. He was on top of the defender. Ball pops free. I saw it the way McElroy and McDonough saw it. Then I still have no idea why they were able to run that play where they snuck the receiver on the field.
Like, I didn't see that. I wasn't watching.
Their first explosive touchdown was they basically snuck a guy on the field in a way that you're not allowed to do it. But I mean, I had Auburn +7, so that we were interested to see how that wouldn't win, and that was one.
Yeah. All right, we'll come back to that in a minute. Run through this real quick again. Trinidad Chambliss, 17 of 27, 307 and 2. No turnovers through 2 games. Deuce Alexander, 4 catches, 94 yards. Daquan Wright, big game, 3 for 71 out of 4 targets. He gets a touchdown. Stribling, 3 for 62, but had that big one, the long of 32. Long of 53. Kewan Lacey, again, catching the ball in the backfield. Not much to it, but did get 3 catches. Caden Lee, only 2, but had the one huge catch down the field as well. Went for 47. And then rushing, Chambliss leads them on the ground, 112 on 14. Lacey, 18 carries, 68 yards, 3.8 on average. And then some mop-up stuff. Damian Taylor gets 2 for 24. Logan Diggs, 4 for 20 and a touch. Deuce Alexander, one really good run, 2 for 11, kind of stiff arm defensive back there for Tulane. But overall, Ole Miss averaging 5.7, 42 for 241. Showed some formation stuff today. They used Daquan as kind of a halfback, fullback on a power quarterback stuff a little bit. He was definitely putting some things on film for next week. But we thought Ole Miss's offensive line would dominate what's a relatively weak Tulane defensive front, and they definitely did that today.
I mean, what do you think the pressure percentage was? I don't even feel like Chambliss was really under duress unless it was like waiting, and then scrambling. But I mean, I felt like he was protected all day. They ran the ball effectively. I don't know. That was the type of dominating performance that you expect out of like the Georgia State game. Like the final score is not quite as severe, but down to down in the meaningful downs, that game to me felt like the Georgia State game, where it's like this is just a complete and utter mismatch. Okay,
so let's go a little more macro. I mean, yeah, we can continue to sing Ole Miss's praises, and we're going to do that throughout the game. But it was complete. They were focused. Let's give a little credit there. You're sandwiched in between Arkansas and LSU, where this thing could get a little funny just simply mentally with next week upcoming. And they were completely and utterly locked in every way in this game.
100. I could not agree more, because honestly, like I was expecting it to be a little kind of a sleepy spot, but they were ready to go, and it was well apparent from the beginning.
Tyler Syski joining us. You got here faster than I thought.
Yeah, I had to leave a little early. Okay. We had some migraine issues. The heat, man, it was freaking brutal.
It was quite hot today. Yeah. Look, we've been just talking about the level of ass kicking that this game was. We probably hit most of it, but before I get into a little more macro, big picture stuff, any other takes as you're catching up here?
No, I'm sure you probably talked about a little bit of everything. I thought the quarterback, regardless, he didn't get hardly any pressure. I didn't think. I saw all of it live, so I didn't get to see replays and all that stuff. But I thought he made really good decisions. Thought he threw the ball much better this week. Looked more comfortable in the passing game. And look, man, there's some good ass receivers. They're doing their job. They're getting open. I think that last touchdown to 11, the ball was underthrown, and he stacked and slowed down on the DB, and that's big time stuff, man. That's really impressive. So I think the receivers are really good. Defensively, you know what I mean? Like I know the score. They just didn't really get challenged. There was a couple things. Is nothing that I would be like, oh, they're better or anything like that. I think they did their job. But offensively, I thought 6 play well, and look, 5 still runs. Five can tote it. I was surprised they left him in that long. Considering what was coming back next week, that was probably. I'm surprised a lot of guys played in. I mean, you're up 35 in the fourth. Let's pack it up and get ready for next week, because what's coming next week's going to be a whole different team from Louisiana.
So, yeah, I told Jeffrey, what's your take on this? You mentioned Chambliss. His deep balls looked better today for sure. He didn't float them the same way. He led well. He put good air on them when needed. And then I thought that he really sort of attacked that intermediate second level pretty well, kind of over and under. I thought that had more zip and was a little better than a week ago as well. I guess what do you make of that? Why is there so much improvement from one week to another on something he's been doing every day for 10 years or 20 years, whatever?
It was hard for me to where I was watching to see like improvement on that. I just thought his deep ball, his timing on the deep ball was much better. Pushing vertical, intermediate stuff, I really couldn't tell you if it was better or not. It was just hard where I was sitting.
It was better. He was throwing over and under really well into that intermediate window today. I thought it was really good.
I mean, he had open guys too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I don't mean to be Johnny obvious, but the guys throwing routes on air out there a lot. You know what I mean? Like he had no pressure and guys were open, so it was. But the guy was making hell of throws, man. I mean, he's putting it where it's supposed to be. So I thought he played well.
What's the challenge to making sure they're locked in on a game like this with last week and next week?
I don't think today would have been a challenge. You got a team that's 3-0 that's beating 2 Power 5 teams. That's enough. I don't think that would be much of a challenge to get them locked in. And it's different too today. It's so much different than what it used to be. I mean, they're professionals now, right? So there's a whole different. Nobody's going out there to win one for the Gipper. They're going out there to do their own thing. So it's a little bit different than what it used to be.
I guess the one thing that surprised me was I felt like, and obviously this is my expectation, but I felt like the roles were kind of reversed. Like Ole Miss came out like I thought Tulane was going to look from an intensity perspective, and Tulane came out kind of like I thought Ole Miss might look. And we talked about it last week on the show when Tulane rushed the field for Duke, and I think that game meant a lot to him. Mensa was on the other side, and like and then when you came up against Ole Miss, and Ole Miss was clearly better at basically every position today. Like I don't know, it shocked me at the level of ass kicking that I saw. Like I could envision a world where Ole Miss won comfortably, covered comfortably, but I did not envision a game where I'd be like, what else is on?
Yeah, I think holding them to a field goal. I guess what was it? 20? Was it 20-0? Or was that right? Am I right on that? Was it 20-0? Like Ole Miss had kind of bogged down a little bit, kicking field goals. I guess was it 2 drives in a row they did that or whatever it was. But
I pointed out too. You could have let them get in the end zone there and at least have to play for a minute.
Correct. It was 13-3.
Yeah.
Okay. And then they had a chance to score before half. They didn't. Ole Miss did, and then they got the ball back and put a drive together and got stopped 4th and goal. They didn't finish drives that would have made it a little bit different game. I mean, I don't think Ole Miss was in danger of losing the game. I think they were in danger of not covering, but I don't think they were in danger of losing the game at that point in time. Look, I just think they got too many, particularly at the skill position players. You just saw a big talent disparity at the skill spots, particularly on offense.
And again, next week is obviously a wildly different challenge in terms of the secondary versus the receivers. But for the most part, I thought they did a pretty good job covering, because I started to really question how good is that secondary last week, and I'm not sitting there going okay, they're a top half of the SEC secondary, but I thought they did a good job today.
Yeah, no, I thought they played fine today. Again, a different talent scale, right? But I mean, they did. They even the ones that the things that you want to see that I thought they did well in the back end was on the contested catches they got the ball out. Like there was a third down conversion that the guy had, and it was a good route and had position, the whole deal. And I don't know who the corner was. There's 70 new players, but got the ball out. I thought that was really good. I thought they did a good job with the contested catches on defense, but they're still it's still one of the most mind-boggling things to me because it's the same guys. Is they will look very good up front, and then 2 plays later look like the worst front ever. Like I don't understand like how that happens, but it happens. I mean, I'm talking about getting just gashed, and then they'll just turn around and then 2 plays they'll stuff them, and then they'll get and it's the same guys. It's not like they're rolling guys and it's different people. And that part I don't understand, but they probably got.
Do you think they're getting beat on like their stunts and they're guessing wrong? Or
without watching the film, I wouldn't know what to tell you. But like it's like there's just sometimes that you're just like, damn, like I don't know. It's just there's nothing. There's just never a stalemate. There's never nobody just holding gap. I mean, it's just they either get moved or they move the other one. There's no in between.
It does feel like also on defense this year, we're watching more of the defense from a couple of years ago where, I don't know how you'd count this stat, but I feel like the last couple of years, if you set aside last year's defense, they lead the country in tackles where they're throwing the guys forward. And I feel like that's back this year.
Yeah, they give up a lot of nasty yards. I'm with you on that. They do that, but it's all the they can put it in the trash can and get moving forward pretty quick.
I don't know what you were. I'm gonna go over super chats in a second. I know you guys were asking about that. I don't know what you picked, Syski, in this game, but I mean, had this been fairly competitive and Ole Miss had won, we'd be talking right now about that Tulane is a Group of 5 contender and it's a solid team. And again, as you said, they beat Duke and Northwestern are not in Ole Miss's class, but they have these 2 Power 4 wins. I guess what was it about this game that was even worse than maybe you would have anticipated? Because I highly doubt you thought it would be 45-3 at one point.
I thought Ole Miss stiffened up a little bit in the red zone, tightened up, and then prevented them from finishing drives. I thought that was early, and then offense never let their foot off the gas. I don't think they punted until the second half, right?
Correct, and only 1 punt as is.
Yeah, so they Ole Miss was able to I thought Lane. New Lane did a good job kicking field goals and extending the lead and kept putting pressure, instead of going for it a couple times. I thought that was I thought in games like this, man, you got to take points. I know you want to be aggressive and put it in the end zone, but you got to take points when you take points and then put pressure on them to come back and win. But look, I think Tulane's going to be fine. I think they, especially in their conference and John does a hell of a job and his guys are well coached, got outgunned a little bit today.
No, the reality is Tulane's path to the playoffs still the same. Like you're highly unlikely to be an at-large team from the G6.
You didn't have to beat Ole Miss to get into the playoff.
Their path is they've got to win the American. And right now I think the American is clearly going to have a leg up on the rest of the G6 league. Yeah. So
especially with Memphis winning today, South Florida doing what they've done so far, I think they've got the I guess from a G5 level, I think they got the most, and all it is, I mean, we can call it what we want to call it. It's a freaking popularity contest. I think they got the most, I think they're the prettiest.
The belle of the ball.
I think it kind of makes a little bit of sense, though. I do think they have, I think Tulane is spending, and I think Memphis is spending. Now, obviously not to the level of the SEC, but you know what I mean? Like, when you.
No, they're spending the most of.
You know what it's like in the G6. Like,
yeah, I mean they're not eating ramen noodles or eating cookout. You know what I mean?
No, they are definitely they're eating at Chili's.
Related to that, second super chat coming up here in a second. First, Tim, thank you, appreciate that. Austin, he says Chase, Jeffrey, Neil, Tyler, much love to you guys. Can Trinidad win us the game next week? Also, one of the new Realtree hoodies available. I'm gonna get to LSU in a minute, Austin. So I'm not ready to go quite there yet, and I will ask about the hoodies. They are not here yet, but I do know that is coming. Obviously, Ole Miss is wearing those uniforms against South Carolina coming up next month. And then Joe P., appreciate you staying up with us. Gents, thanks again for everything. Jeffrey, thoughts on Memphis today? I'll let you talk about the Tigers for a minute.
Yeah, it was kind of an odd game, but it feels like almost every Memphis win against an SEC team at the Liberty Bowl kind of has the same script where they kind of fall behind, and it's almost like the SEC team gets overconfident, and then out of nowhere you look up and the game's like weirdly close, and then Memphis will wind up with some ridiculous explosive touchdown, and you look up and you're like, oh, well, this is weird. And then I credit to them, they couldn't really stop Arkansas when Arkansas put it together, and on basically the biggest defensive play of the game, running back gets a first down and just a perfect punch out on the ball, and then they get the first down to ice it. I mean, I really was a weird game where Arkansas at times looked like there was nothing that Memphis could do to stop them. But I think it's kind of the lesson of, if you're a team that has a bad defense, it's just tough for you to blow anyone out because, man, everybody's just always going to have a chance to keep scoring. And you get into these games where, hey, man, you haven't really been taking offense seriously for a couple of series now, and all of a sudden you got to go back out and score again, and it's just tough to flip that switch.
Look, Taylor Green's good. Arkansas can score some points. Arkansas's defense sucks. Like,
it sucks. And also, I do think the one concern that I had about Arkansas, because I had Arkansas today, when Neil said that, Taylor's been nursing that hammy, he did not look to me like the same guy that he did in the first half against Ole Miss. Now, maybe he was just, maybe last week he was just up for it and whatnot. But he threw one bad interception. It was just a classic. Arkansas had multiple chances to put Memphis away. They didn't. They let Memphis hang around. Like, to me, Tyler, that was kind of how I was contrasting it to today. Like, if Lane doesn't take those points and all of a sudden maybe you come up empty on those drives, even though you've kind of been dominating, you allow a team to hang around long enough, and then it can oftentimes come down to one or two plays, and maybe a tip goes the wrong way because, the fumble could have been – the guy could have rolled over and been down, but he wasn't. He stayed on top of a defender, and the ball got punched out. Like, I just thought like that was the key today for Ole Miss, was just making sure they put them away, and I think they did a great job of that.
Yeah. How sick are you for Sam Pittman, man? This guy, 2 weeks in a row getting one punched out.
Well, the other problem is every loss is taking away half his money.
And there's nothing that he did wrong. He should have won the game today, and he should have had a real puncher's chance at winning last week.
And by the way, he didn't mismanage the game. Like, they were based like it got to the point where
I know the narrative and I get it. It's just I'm on the other side of it, to where those are real people. It's not a video game, and you just hate it for people that are good dudes, and it's a freaking game to fans, and I get it. I understand. I mean, hell, I chose it for a career. I understand, but it's just, it sucks when it happens to good people, and it's terrible.
Jeffrey, Kyle, thanks for the super chat. I'll let you take this one. Who is Hugh blaming this loss on, from Kyle?
Did you see the third down numbers?
No.
I think Kent's gonna have to eat this one.
Okay. All right. Is he the third down guy?
Oh, I believe Kent's third downs.
Yeah, I'm not in a good frame of mind today, so I'm going to let you have this one.
I had +7. Like, that was such a brutal beat.
Not if I bought the half point, so I didn't lose.
Oh, you bought it to 7.5? God, good for you.
Oh, that was clutch.
I don't ever let it sit on 7 or 3. I'm going to buy it up or down, whichever one.
Marine Rebel, the fact this team could be in the playoff over a team like Ole Miss is stupid. Welcome to college football. Group of 5 gets a spot. Yeah.
I mean, do we say in the basketball tournament,
yeah,
teams get it? It's the way that it is.
Austin, again, is Clemson dead? For this season, yes, Clemson is very dead. Very, 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 very dead.
That's rough, man. That's welcome to revenue share. Even if they want to walk away with him, it's $60 million.
Well, I was thinking about this. If you're Arkansas, do you maybe see hey, you've got a proof of concept of the coach that was kind of flaming out at a place that he won a national title, give him a reset, and that really motivated their money people. Do you maybe think about that?
I mean, I think it's too early. I mean, I don't know why they would do something right now. I mean, they're 2 plays away from being undefeated, and 2 fumbles. It's not like, what I mean? Like, I think it's.
I'm more saying like if, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, listen, they can beat Notre Dame next week. Notre Dame, I can tell you this: we should just take the over. Whatever comes out on Sunday, we should take the over.
Yeah, they're Purdue's Barry Odom's. They're going to struggle record wise. But Barry Odom's done a hell of a job, at least making Purdue competitive.
They're not gonna. I think that they've won at least 2 of their non-cons. I think they'll probably win a game or 2 in the Big Ten.
Dan Mullen is right there, guys. I mean,
that was another brutal beat for your boy today.
Yeah.
I had Miami. He won by 3. I think 38-35 maybe, or 37-34 or something like that.
How you feeling, Syski? Are you okay?
Doing great.
Are you?
I'm just trying to rehydrate.
Smart.
Just trying to rehydrate.
You want to throw an element or something in that thing while you're chugging it? Get a little sodium. Probably
need to. No, okay, I think.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Then I'll throw it at you.
No, I was just saying. It's crazy when you look at when these coaches are taking these programs over that were dead and gone, and then you just go get 80 new players. I mean, it just is.
I think Barry was the second most in D1. And now
they only had one player come back from last year's team.
Really? Wasn't Brown? Isn't his quarterback? I think his quarterback was on the roster. I thought Brown was on the roster.
One starter. I don't know
Now, to be clear, when you go 1-11 and you get beat by 58,000 points, you should not be bringing back a lot of players. I'm not, but it is funny how we do the whole, oh, look at how many players this guy brought in. There's no kind. It's like, yeah, sometimes you got to turn a roster over, boys.
Yeah, that's flipping it,
All right.
That's flipping it quick.
Let's not bury the lead moving forward, because again, we can talk about Tulane. It was an ass kicking today. If both players are healthy, who are you starting at quarterback?
Austin Simmons. Next question.
Well, elaborate. Let's dish it up. Let's go.
I mean, there's nothing to elaborate. I'm not
He's
an emotional.
Turned it over
fan.
4 times in 2 games. Chambliss had.
I'm not an emotional fan. I know that if you play Trinidad when Austin's healthy, come December, he's going to be out the door, and so is 6, and you're going to start all over again. And you're building this team. This team's not built to win this year. I know fans don't want to hear that. This team's not built to win this year.
So okay. Let's stop. Let's take it one thing at a time. Do you think Trinidad gives them a better chance of winning right
now? Yes.
So you would sacrifice the season for next year.
Absolutely.
The one thing that I would,
you're not sacrificing. You're not sacrificing.
I'm asking the questions. Okay.
Austin Simmons, the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? But you're not sacrificing the season by putting the starting quarterback, the guy who won the job.
That's not what I said. I'm just throwing hypotheticals out there. That's all I'm doing. I'm just throwing hypotheticals out there.
But yeah, Austin Simmons 100 out of 100 times, and it's like you can't get so emotional that you can't see the forest because the trees are in the way. 1,000% if he's healthy and he doesn't go out there and the other guy plays, come December, per sources, his ass is gone. We all know it's true. So, you can do it. You can cry to mama when he freaking goes and wins the Heisman Trophy somewhere and be like, oh, he was our cornerback, but you wanted to win against Tulane. I mean, what are we doing?
The only question I have, because I'm with Tyler. I also think, listen, man, he's made a couple of mistakes passing the ball, but he also has some throws that are going to make this offense also look a little different. The only question that I have is, it does feel like this offense runs so much better when your quarterback is truly a part of the run game and +1.
Well, they're running more. They're running more.
Obviously, with Chambliss, yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, I get it, but it looks like but the offense, I just feel like when Matt started running more, it worked better. But Matt,
all right, let me ask you a question. Do either one of y'all honestly believe that Austin Simmons wouldn't have thrown for 500 yards last week or this week with being protected in the pocket and wide open receivers?
No,
when does he get in trouble? When does he get in trouble?
Austin?
He gets in trouble
when he tries to
when he
fit
gets,
in windows that are very difficult to fit the ball into.
when he gets pressure. When he
It's
gets
usually due to
pressure or a
pressure,
bad
right?
snap. Yeah.
It's usually due to pressure, right? So
Or a bad snap. Remember the first pick against Kentucky, he got the ground ball. He was too athletic because he fielded it on a hop. If he was just unathletic, he would have just fallen down on it, never thrown the pick.
This is true.
We are going through the stream a little bit. What is Syski on? This isn't an emotional fan. Let him out the door if he's that much of a emoji. We got a D2 guy up to speed in a matter of 4 months. Doesn't matter. Simmons is the new Nico. We got if you can't legitimately beat out a D2 guy, you don't play. If he transfers, he transfers. Need to
He's already beat him out.
Offense, period.
He's already beat him out. I mean, he's already beat him out. I mean, what are we doing?
I'm with you, Tyler, because the biggest problem though is like we don't know what Austin would have done. Here's what I do know: Austin played one series and he couldn't walk and he scored.
Yeah, he threw a touchdown pass with like pirate peg leg. Just
you're saying the way the receivers were running around today, yeah, Austin would have had a day.
I think he would have had
a thrown for 250 today. I may could have thrown for 250 today. I would have had to check some fades versus press. I definitely could have thrown for 250 last week. I don't know about this week, but John would have probably saw my little ass back there and been bringing too many simulated pressures and shit. But hey, I could have thrown for 250 last week for sure.
Can we also take a quick brief second to acknowledge? I think Retzlaff today threw one of the hardest fastballs to absolutely nowhere that I've ever seen. That fourth down, there wasn't even like a receiver, and you just saw and it just made the giant thud when it hit the wall of the end zone. That's one of the most impressive incompletions I've ever seen. Like, he let that rip, and I still have no idea where he was throwing it.
He had, because of pressure and just him, he had a really difficult time setting feet at any point today. Dude was just flinging that thing around for the most part. Let's see. I mean, look, Chambliss has shown you just the benefit of playing a lot of freaking football, which Austin has not done yet. I mean, he stayed ahead of schedule and been pretty poised for a guy that does not have Austin's overall arm talent by any measure. I mean, he does just show you when you play a lot of freaking football, things like that work out from time to time.
No, he played. I thought he looked better this week than he did last week. Just personally, I don't even know. I don't think the stats necessarily showed that. I don't know.
Totally agree with you.
But I thought he played. I thought he's played better as a quarterback, and I thought he did a good job with ball play, much better job with ball placement. And I'm just busting people's balls. I think it's a good problem to have when you got two. Competition makes them better, right? But in no form or fashion, though, if I had them both healthy, from a program standpoint, 100% would let Austin Simmons go out there. And here's the thing: you got to be careful of, right? And so, from a coach's standpoint, it's what you got to be very careful of. You go out there and let's say you put Austin in the game. Okay. Well, let's just throw this out there. Let's say Austin's ready to go for Saturday. Okay. And you throw him out there and he has a couple of bad drives or makes a mistake. And then all of a sudden you put the other kid in there and he has any success. You lost Austin Simmons. You know what I mean? You got to be very, it's mental gymnastics that lane. It's a good thing. It's a good problem to have. He's got two guys that can play, but you got to be very careful, and you don't want to, set your whole program back because you make an emotional decision, right? So, and Lane won't. Lane's good. Lane's not going to make an emotional decision. He'll make the right decision. It's his program, and it's what he gets paid the big bucks for.
Well, how much ability do you give Austin?
Chase, I want to go on this topic because I think this actually matters. I want Tyler's opinion on this.
Okay. These
are two pretty good. We kind of have to use context, right? Of okay, who was on the other side. And we talked about it, Chase, earlier in the show. Tulane, while John's a good defensive coach, he doesn't have the animals up front. And we've just seen Memphis was able to run the ball basically at will on Arkansas. So when you look at what Trinidad's skill set is, these are two really good spots for him. But what happens when you go up against teams that are not going to have to bring people down into the box and you're not going to have the numbers advantage? And then all of a sudden he's going to have to make harder and harder throws because I do agree with Tyler. He made a higher difficulty of throws today, but we still didn't see hey man, I got to thread it through the zone where, there's a window of about 2 feet. Like, he is still getting to throw to relatively open guys, but when you start having fewer and fewer people in the box, like, does he still have the same success? And we don't know that because we didn't see two opponents that could even provide that test.
You got a thought on that?
No, I mean that's kind of what I've been. I mean, you got to be careful about rushing to judgment, playing the two defenses that he's just played.
How much leeway do you give Simmons to say he can go at 80%, 75%? Like, how good does he need to be to play?
I think he needs to be ready to go. I don't think you put him out there if he's in a danger of doing the same thing he just did last week, with re-injury again, right? I think you just got to be careful. I mean, it's like, and I don't know I don't know what the real thing, what's really wrong with him. I mean, I was born at night, but it wasn't last night. I know it's not a low ankle. So I don't know what the actual injury is, but I just know I know it's not a low ankle. I can tell you that. That's
quarterbacks don't miss this level of time with low ankle sprains.
Well, yeah, pretty much anybody, much less a quarterback, right? Now it's on his back foot, so he's going to feel pressure every time he throws. But I saw him out there running around a little bit. I mean, he didn't look too far off, but I don't know. I don't know what the injury is and all that stuff, and that, obviously they do. But yeah, you don't put him out there unless he's ready to go. I mean, you don't want him. And look, when he goes back out there, from now on, unless you're waiting to Washington State to put him out there, when he goes back in there, I mean, he's going to be on the bench for a while, right? The speed of the game is going to be sped back up again, and it's going to take him time to readjust and all that. So it's definitely mental gymnastics you got to play, but you got to be careful that you don't lose your future by making an emotional decision.
Who do you think plays next week?
I don't know. I mean, again, I think if Austin's healthy, he plays. That's just my opinion. But if he's not healthy, then Six will play.
Yeah, and I'm not. I mean, also, I'm not pushing a quarterback controversy. I do think it's a question of what level is Austin healthy or not healthy. I mean,
you got one. This is.
I'm reading the stream. Is all I'm doing.
Oh, I know you got one. That's what I'm saying. This is going to be great. I guess now we don't have to hear about no damn Ulysses Bentley anymore. Now
I mean, the top thread on the message board right now is Simmons got Wally Pip today.
You got your new Ulysses Bentley conversation going. Everybody's going to forget. They're going to be like, hey, what was that running back's name that we got pissed about that didn't play? Now this is going to be the new one.
So they play LSU next week.
You got to forgive Chase though, because Lacey's been so good. Like, we can't do a typical, like, his default setting is running back controversy.
Yeah.
So, because it's always been pretty clear cut who the quarterback is. So now you're dangling a quarterback controversy in front of him. He's like, I'm just asking questions.
I'm just here.
Well, you got one. There's one with the fans anyway. I don't know if there's one with Lane, but there's one with the fans.
What do we actually know about LSU at this point?
I don't know. I'm not
Clemson is dog crap right now. So,
LSU's good on defense. I feel comfortable saying
that. I feel good about that.
Offensively, they're all over the lot, man. They just can't get any. They can't. It's like they can't find an identity on offense. They play, I guess, here in about. They may be on right now, but
they just kicked off like right now.
Yeah, you're not gonna get anything out of it because they're playing Selah, but they can't find a rhythm on offense, man. It's kind of like they just don't have an identity right now, and then they're not very good up front. Nussmeier's trying to make every play, and forcing some things, and they just can't find anything offensively right now, but defensively they're good. Be an interesting matchup for Ole Miss. They haven't had a matchup like this so far, so it'll be interesting.
Because of the offense sides of the ball, just the way it is.
Yeah, because they'll be the best defense by a mile that they've seen, and not the best. I mean, capable of being the best offense, but not performing like the best offense right now.
Well, we definitely can say this: Ole Miss has not seen skill players like LSU has, and it'll certainly I guess what Kentucky's defense will probably be. I don't know, middle of the road. Would you say, Tyler?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And that's the best they've seen. Would you agree? Oh
yeah.
So it's far and away the best It's far and away the best defense that they'll see, and it's going to be the group that will put the most pressure on their secondary and honestly probably their linebackers too. But I've seen nothing that says that Ole Miss's defensive line can't at least have a decent day against them, because I watched Louisiana Tech's defensive line have a decent day against LSU's offensive line.
That's where Ole Miss has to win to have a chance to win the game at home. Ole Miss's defense line's got to dominate that matchup, because if they don't, it's going to be a long day.
I also think it's fair to say LSU's defense hasn't seen an offense as good as Ole Miss's.
No.
Oh yeah, that's easy. Yeah. No, they haven't.
What's the line on this game?
The look ahead was 1.5 all week. 1.5 or 2.
I was going to say 3.
And again, look aheads, they're usually like low limit, whatnot, but the look ahead, I think on DraftKings was -1.5 for LSU. Okay. It's tough to see me. It's tough. I think it could probably get to 3, but I don't think it's going to flip to Ole Miss, and I don't know if they really want to sit there and go, we'll give you more than a field goal.
This is one of those things that Vegas will overact. Let's say that LSU goes out and has which very easily could. If they go out and have some kind of crazy offensive performance tonight, they'll overcook it.
Against Southeastern Louisiana?
Well, just if they show any life on offense, they'll start moving. That line will start moving. Not much, but it'll move.
I have a quick aside. How come every time I watch a Missouri game and I look up and see they've already scored a touchdown, but they missed an extra point?
Well, I was about to ask somebody the same question because I don't know how it got to 6. I don't know if they missed extra point.
Yeah, they missed an extra point.
In the Kansas game, there was like a missed extra point right off the bat. Like,
yeah, I don't know. Just see the host. It's a good thing. It's a good thing that let's mark that officiating crew of the Oklahoma-Auburn game if they ever come to Oxford. Just go ahead and get ready for
that. Oh boy!
So Tyler,
how bad was that?
Well, can you explain to me? So I thought the fumble return, I was like, I don't know how you overturn that. I don't get that.
I thought it was a fumble. I didn't think it was enough to overturn it. I see the call it incomplete pass. Ooh, I mean, they didn't even call him down. They called it incomplete pass. I was like, whoa.
Okay, but what I didn't understand is how did they not throw the flag on the first touchdown?
That's a 15-yard penalty. It's they actually call it. I think they've labeled that unsportsmanlike conduct now.
Well, on that one, at least I understood why that one didn't get thrown.
So
is
what
because
happened?
the official was out of position. Like that one, at least I was like, well, he was looking at the ground. Like
that one, the one where they didn't sneak the guy off, but they substituted a bunch of people.
Yeah, how did that happen?
They stopped the guy by the sideline, and so nobody was covering him. That's how they scored their first touchdown.
Oh, okay.
Right. That's not legal, right?
No, it's a 15-yard penalty. It's unsportsmanlike conduct. Yeah, they didn't call it. That's bad. The pass interference you're talking about pass interference. The guy had his back to him. That was, but they scored on that drive, so that's kind of a wash. But still, it was no bueno. They got hosed on that one.
And, that's the crew. That's the crew, or at least it's the white hat, that they brought in from the ACC. That when they were taking all the grief for not having good officials, they brought in that guy and his crew, and I mean, holy cow.
But yeah, I thought that. It. Jackson Arnold really, really struggled today in that game. I had it on my phone. I was watching 2 games at once. I was at one and watching one on my phone. He held on the damn ball forever. Like he got, I don't know how many sacks they have, but probably, I think it was like a school record or something. But I bet 7 of them because he held on the ball too long. And then he missed wide open guys, man. I mean, and for touchdowns. And
he had that day that, when you're playing Madden or you're playing NCAA against your boys and like your go-to stuff that always works, it's like it doesn't work. And then he just looked like, he was like, well, what I got now? Because like they did a very good job of taking away, the counter stuff and all the run game stuff that he's been so good at. But I mean, man, he had receivers that were running free, man. Like that was always going to be my question. Like, could he hit him?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like it was terrible overthrows, you know. I mean, some of it he could be jacked. I mean, dude,
he hit a couple of big ones early, like but.
And when you're doing double moves and shit, you know, and then one of them, the receiver stopped running, and one of them, the receiver is a mandatory outside release go, and the receiver slipped inside and stopped running when he let it go. One of them was on the receiver, but two of the double moves. I mean, Coleman's a freak, man. That guy, good God, they couldn't even pretend to cover him. And then he went on. They had like a 3rd and 2 on one drive. They ended up punting. And they went quads to the boundary and ran a tunnel screen, but it's a backdoor slant out of the back door. He read it the wrong way. He still threw the slant. I mean, he still threw the screen, and a slant would have freaking probably walked in. Yeah. So he was a little bit you know, I don't know if going back to Oklahoma, I imagine that was a big emotional thing and all that, but he did not have his best stuff today. That's for sure.
Couple things here.
Real quick. Oklahoma had 10 sacks and 14 tackles for loss.
Oh, I didn't know it was that many.
I bet 8 of them were on him. Like I'm talking about Jeffrey. Like he was holding the ball for like 5 seconds back there. Like he would have been sacked in 7. The offensive line did a good job, which is crazy. I thought they protected great. I thought they had against that defense. I thought they protected great, and then they're going to go in the meeting room. They gave up 10 sacks. And we're like, what?
I kept dirking. Thanks. Let me read this real quick. He says, it's been a great night with Ole Miss win. Also found out me and the wife had our first child on the way. Keep up the great work.
Go.
Congrats to you, Kenny. Syski killing a Diet Miller for you right now there in the stream. Somebody said be ready for a tired like you've never felt before. Yeah, sleep when you can. That is some advice there on that one. That is true. And no, we're not saying Tulane's dog crap. I mean, we started the show with giving Ole Miss all the praise in the world, but we got to break down some minutia, or it's a pretty short show. I mean, yes, Ole Miss dominated every position group against a really solid top 5 group of 5 team. I mean, there's no doubt about that. They whipped them way worse than I was anticipating going into this day.
I don't think it's you know, I think this is a different conversation than when you played Georgia State, right? I mean, I think this is I thought they played well. You know what I mean? Like I didn't think that they, you know, sleptwalked through a bad team. I thought they played well. I mean, I did. That's just my opinion. And I was there. I didn't get to see it on TV, which is usually a lot easier for me to be analyzing it. But I thought they played well. I mean, Tulane's not a bad team.
No, and Ole Miss won every little micro matchup. Or as we said, they scored touchdowns. They forced stuff. I mean, it was just it got out of hand very fast. Austin, am I wrong for saying Ole Miss LSU should be game day next week? Oregon Penn State is a Fox game. Bama UGA doesn't feel that big this year. It's going to be Oregon Penn State, in my opinion. It doesn't have to be an ESPN game.
Yeah, it's not going to be LSU. I would be surprised.
ESPN is very sensitive to the whole SEC bias narrative. And they took some flack this week because they went to Miami, even though it's Miami, who's an ACC school. They took some flack. I find it hard to believe that they're going anywhere other than Penn State, Oregon.
Is it Oregon or Penn State?
It's at Penn State. I think I told my son this. I think they ended up going to Miami, Florida this week because I think this is the last chance. I think everybody sees Miami's really good. And this is probably going to be the last real chance they get to go to Miami.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, now they'll be able to go to the Miami Florida State game. But it's
Florida State game. And I also think, like, they just went to Norman 2 weeks ago. So I think they were going to struggle to go.
Okay, Jared said already announced Oregon, Penn State. Okay. I had not seen that. But, yeah, fully expected that.
Indiana blocked a punt, scoop and score for a touchdown.
South Carolina now up 7-6 on Missouri. 6:25 to go second quarter there. In that one, Missouri got second and goal on my television currently. What are we making out of the Red Raiders today? Because they just beat the hell out of them.
They're if they hadn't have just gotten crazy and turned the ball over. I mean, they turned the ball over too. I mean, that game could have. They're good, man.
And Morton got knocked out.
Yeah, he got his head bounced off pretty good.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean they're legit. I mean they're the best team money can buy in the Big 12. That's for sure.
Clear favorite now, right?
Yeah, I mean I think it's them, TCU,
Iowa State,
and then Baylor's
they're still
makes
alive.
Yeah. Is that game about to start? Is that a 9:00 game or is that game about to start?
It's on right now. I think it's on Fox.
Got my fighting rich rods down here on TV. I need to switch it.
Who they got today?
Kansas.
Daniel, this must be your first show with us. Says, why are we talking about Arkansas and Memphis on an Ole Miss postgame show? Yeah, you're new here. I mean, we're on for 2 hours. I can only do so much Ole Miss 45, Tulane 10 without getting hyperbolic in every way. Ole Miss.
I don't know what else I was supposed to say.
See, like Alexandra right here, I love you. Like, I appreciate you every week. She goes, been doing baby bedtime. Did y'all cover Arkansas game yet? See, that's what I mean right there. That's my girl.
Look there.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit. Pittman, something that not his fault. It's been 2 terrible weeks. Because look, I mean, Jeffrey, we were watching the press box. Neil got a little frustrated because the GA came over and turned the TV above our heads to the Ole Miss game with 10 minutes still to go to kickoff, and we were like a minute and 30 to go in the Arkansas-Memphis game. We're like, I mean,
can you
couldn't wait 5 minutes. The kids like, I'm just a GA. It's like, okay, like I don't know what to tell you. But the third down here is the epitome of everything about this Arkansas program right now, because you've got them stopped. They're running the ball up the middle. They're just trying to make you use your last time out. All you need is a field goal to win with 45 seconds left on the clock. And that Memphis kid drug like 8 dudes, like 7 yards for the first down. It was the damnedest thing ever right there. Like, oh my God, you cannot have that happen.
I don't know if I don't know if people noticed this. What happened also, though, was Lewis, their starting quarterback, got his helmet knocked off on the second down play. So they brought in their backup quarterback, who's a tank. And that's the guy, like, that was the guy. Because you could tell, like, Arkansas was like, oh, we think we've got this guy wrapped up. And that guy just kept moving.
I mean, I don't understand that. You see it all the time. This like they're sitting there and they hold these guys up. I don't know if I don't know. He could have very easily there was 9 people on his upper body. Hey, one of you guys want to go there and grab his legs? You know what I mean? Like, I don't.
Hey, boys, the only way we don't get the ball back is if we keep trying to strip it and they get the first down.
17-45 in 1-score games since 2012 for the Razorbacks.
Say that one more time.
1-score games for Arkansas since 2012, 17-45.
Ooh, no bueno.
That's not good. That's not ideal.
No bueno.
The officiating was very pro Memphis today. Was that an SEC crew, Jeffrey?
That was a crew from the American. And there were definitely some calls that did not go the Razorbacks' way. With that being said, the Razorbacks had like 15 different opportunities to put that game away, and they did not.
Yeah, we've talked about that a little bit. Alexandra says, makes me sad for Sam Pittman. Just seems like a great guy. Yes, this is not a good guy contest in college football. That is not what this sport is. So, Troy should go back to that logo behind you, Syski. I like that.
Which one we got here? Oh, that's right here.
Trojan helmet thing to that side. Yeah.
So I got Troy. That's Troy State. All my pictures up here are I got paintings for where I coached. And yes, I have a Colonel Red right over here, but I don't want to show it and get you canceled. That was my favorite. All right. The Colonel Red.
Illinois responded. Also, Tyler, that was another brutal beat for me today. When I found out Kilcrease was starting for Troy, I was like, all right, well, let me go get me some Buffalo. Buffalo goes up 17-0 in the fourth quarter. Kilcrease comes back and scores 2 touchdowns and covers the number. That's how the day went.
What was the final?
I think it was 17-14.
I
know everybody had Buffalo and Troy on their quad box.
I got late night tonight. I've hammered USC, so I'll be up to like 2 in the morning.
I mean, they're going to play it without you. You can go to bed. I mean, the result's gonna stick either way, there, Chief.
No. I lost 7 pounds sitting in the sun. I'm watching all the ball right here, drinking my Diet Millers and catching up.
When did you leave?
Just right after half.
Oh, that early. Okay.
Yeah. I saw my son do his thing, and then I left.
Okay. They wanted up you're watching any wrestling on one of your TVs, JW.
Congratulations to the Trojans. They came back and won. Someone's asking if I'm watching wrestling tonight. I'm not, because even though I pay DirecTV to have the entire family of ESPN networks, I do not have access to whatever the ESPN all access that I need. So I'm not watching the wrestling right now. I've got Miami and Florida on TV1, Missouri, Carolina TV2, Illinois, Indiana TV3, and then I laid all the points with Virginia, and so I have Virginia and Stanford on TV4 at the moment.
Greg's wife says, "Will Bobby be the Arkansas head coach next year?" No, I do not believe that to be the case. Yeah, today was hot. I actually thought today was hotter than last week. It was bad out there today.
That sun was hot.
It was rough.
I felt soft out there today.
Have y'all also had the same scenario where you have like it's rained maybe once in like the last 40 days and everything's just baked out? Like everything's dry, everything's baked out, and then when you get the sun just out there, like everything just feels dead.
Okay, so Jeffrey, I'm not like as bad as you with the cold weather, but I'm like whatever the next level down, and it's been so bad with what you're talking about that I've gotten up days and went, hey, I'm okay with it. Go ahead, getting cold now. Like, it's broken me. I'm like, okay, go ahead.
No, my back hurts way too much. Like,
no, but I'll just prefer, like, can we have, like, you know what I would love? It would be really cool is if we could have the same length that it's hot as hell here. Why can't we have the same length of, like, fall?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
let's have 2 weeks.
65 and sunny, 50 at nighttime. Let's do that for about 4 months.
So,
we can do that.
Where are we at?
My thing right now is I just want it to rain. Like, my yard is so dead. Like, I'm now at the point where I've always complained that when it rains, like, for a week straight, like, that's when you regret getting a dog because you're just sitting there like, oh, God, the toweling off and all that. But right now, it has been so long since it's rained that, like, I'm just like, I want just like a week of biblical flooding.
What's our over-under on how long Bill Belichick remains the North Carolina head coach?
Woo, boy.
UCF getting all up in that today.
He might have caught a break, though. Gio got it was like 27-9 when I turned it off.
That was the last I saw, too.
Y'all going to have to update me on some scores, man. That's the other thing I don't like about being at the damn game. I can't see shit. And then the scoreboard of the ticker they have at the stadium, they're like 2.5 quarters behind. I don't know any scores.
34-9. He might have caught a break, though, that Gio looked like he's out for the year. And at least with Max, like Max can at least run an offense enough. But, I mean, it's awful.
What'd he do?
I just saw him in the cart. It had to be something in the leg. He was in the cart with the towel. Like, I felt bad for him. He was like crying, but
Yeah, it sucks. He's a good kid.
Georgia State up 3-0 early on Vanderbilt after an opening drive for the Panthers.
They're ready to go, man. They're going to rinse and repeat.
They're feeling it again.
I gave them the old, hey, look, when we were terrible at South Alabama, one thing they can never take away from us is we beat State, we beat back-to-back years. We beat San Diego State when they were on a 15-game winning streak. We beat them. They went 15 straight games, and we beat them again. We were awful.
Texas up 6-0 with 6:23 to go in the first quarter right now. I'm assuming Oregon didn't cover. I don't know what that line was. They won 7.
It depended what your number, because I think it came down to like 33.5 today. So. Okay. Dan did kick a field goal to make it 34.
So Tennessee did not cover a 56-24 win over Dilfer and the Blazers today in Knoxville. And then Michigan wins straight up in Lincoln today, knocking off Matt Rule in Nebraska 30-27 for the Wolverines. Or now
Got that running
3-1,
game.
but that only lost to Oklahoma.
Yeah, Purdue just
Miami
those
the best
picks.
team?
What?
Is Miami the best team? They're the ones that look the most. They're like up front. They look like they've got the most dudes.
I can per sources, they do have dudes up front on both sides of the ball.
They are trying to get back in the red zone. Miami up 7-0 right now. Waning seconds of the first quarter.
It looks like Prabula just threw a pick, but I'm seeing flags, and Tyler's buddy Ken is about to make an announcement.
Oh, Ken.
Ned in the stream says Oregon the best team by far.
Oregon's good. I don't hate that. That's
Getting
a fumble.
That's
not an illegal snap.
Getting
they just
asked
called
about
that
the
illegal
Aflac situation. I haven't heard anything more. I still think something gets done there, but it was not going to be immediate, and I don't know to what level. Again, there was a full menu of options when trying to get some sort of corporate partnership with that situation.
Dude, if we don't get a Nick and Lane commercial, I'm gonna be pissed. Like that's gold right there. That'd be the most awkward commercial of all time.
Let's say, are insurance companies that are typically risk averse, are they wanting to get in the Lane business?
They were wanting to get in the college football business with doing some large corporate partnerships with specific teams.
Good for them.
And their corporate office is in Columbus, Georgia.
Did I see Tyler?
I'm with you. I smart. I put two together.
You did.
Did I also see that Florida have a couple of defensive linemen that got game 4-itis?
Did they?
I saw somebody. I don't know if it was Thamel or Nako. Somebody was saying before the game that there was like 3 starters that were questionable to play, and I was like, oh boy.
No, that's 3 out tonight. 3 linemen: Banks, Gums.
I've heard that one before.
Let's see what we got. Will Gundy still be there in November? They're going to let him finish the year, Syski?
I mean, again, I don't know why you wouldn't let. I mean, I'm not even talking about making changes. I don't know why you would ever fire in today's world that we're in. There's nobody can give me one pro of firing a coach in the middle of the season.
You stop the emotional losses with the fan base, just getting on your tail every 5 seconds.
Did y'all
see how many
people?
I didn't say it was a good reason. You asked what the reason was. That's why they do it.
It doesn't accomplish anything, though.
No.
Did y'all see how many people showed up? But did y'all see how many people showed up at Lane Stadium today? It was damn near full. And Tyler, I'm with you. I don't think it makes sense from a football perspective, but it is also a business.
Was it really full? Really?
It was pretty full.
Well, when you fire a coach that you already don't have enough money and you have to go buy a completely new roster because you don't have any and you have no money to go get them,
yep,
that would be something to probably be thinking about.
If
you're going to fire them, fire them. That's not even what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about firing them at the beginning at this time of year. Like, dude, I mean, like if you fire and look, those players are emotional, motherfucker. Touchdown, South Carolina. They're going to fucking win this. I will go to Missouri and kick Eli in the nuts if they don't win this game by a lot.
I'll go ahead and get ready for that one. Let's see.
What are we doing?
I mean, Gundy's not going to save his job this season. That's not possible. So that's no reason to worry.
He's got that weird buyout too. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a flat buyout for 3 years, $15 million, no matter what.
Yeah, see y'all talking about sponsorships in the stream. Little self promotion. Remember, we got the podcast up at MPW Digital. I did yesterday with Rainey Anderson, Chief Revenue Officer of the NFL. We talked a good bit about all the partnerships there with the league. They're obviously doing quite well from a revenue standpoint. That's not a problem. 74 of the top 100 broadcasts in 2024 were NFL related. 33 million watched the Chiefs and the Eagles last week in a Week 2 game.
It's okay.
I think it was 48 of the top 50.
Was it really? Okay.
Yeah.
And that's in an election year and an Olympics year.
Right. An election.
We had an eye
and
violation. We had an eye violation.
Which game?
Missouri. That's how he got open. Had an eye violation.
What are we watching right now? I know you're watching both watching 4 games, but like, what is the compelling thing? Is it still South Carolina and Missouri?
I got South Carolina, Missouri, I got Arizona State, Baylor. I got Florida, Miami, and I got I don't know who the hell's up there at the other one. I forgot. I'm not watching much.
Do you have Indiana, Illinois?
Yep, that's the one that's up there. It's in commercial.
I forgot about that. Were we 7-7 on that?
No, Indiana just scored again. It's 14-7.
I kind of
I didn't see the extra point go through, and maybe I need to start watching extra points now.
Maybe heart's too strong, but I kind of let my like of Luke affect me in that pick. I just went out of the hell with it. I'm going to root for Illinois.
Both teams have scored 7 points on offense. They got a punt blocked. Like, that's the only difference in the game.
I think 87% of the money or something was on Illinois.
I did not like hearing that.
Yeah. On the site.
But I did not care that all the money was on Miami. I think
Boise State in a bit of a slugfest right now with Air Force.
I took the under in the Miami-Florida game. My favorite play of the week.
What'd you get, 50?
51.5.
Okay.
Is Coastal going to regret paying all that money for salaries and stuff? Like, what's their situation? Well, no, never mind. Never mind. He left for Liberty. My bad. I
was saying they should only regret giving Tim back the job.
Oh, Tim, appreciate you. Huge super chat. My boy coming through tonight. Love y'all guys. Split this on Light American Loggers. Shout out Doc's Doggy Daycare in Corinth if you want. Yeah, 100%. Doggy Daycare in Corinth. Doc's Doggy Daycare. They're in Corinth. Go get your hound pampered, taken care of, boarded. Whatever it is they offer, go do that at Doc's Doggy Daycare.
No doubt.
I saw that on the thing. Was that true? Did Glenn say Deuce McAllister instead of Deuce Alexander today? Is that true?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't catch that.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah, I don't know that. He's a good player though.
He had a pretty good stiff arm on that run today. He delivered a little punishment.
And the catch that Tyler was referencing, that I don't know if it was the last touchdown or whatever, that was a great ball adjustment that he made.
Vanderbilt touchdown, Charles says. 7-3 there, assuming an extra point.
UVA up 28-7.
Who's that against?
That would be against my Stanford Cardinal. Yeah, you may win a bet against me last week, but I'll come right back and get that scalp.
Are we frustrated by that? Tupelo Reps' message board has turned its attention to being upset at the fact the Ole Miss LSU game is at 2:30 and not 6. 2:30 is a great time.
It is amazing to me how fast 2:30 used to be like what everybody lived for. It was like if you got the 2:30 game, like, and I get it, it was the CBS game. But it was like, it's amazing
you still
to me
get
how
like a great setting right in the fourth quarter. Like you're not so hammered you don't even know what you're doing. Standing up by that point, I mean, you don't want the 7:30 kick. You don't want a 7:30 kick. You guys think you do, you don't.
I mean, it could be worse. You could have 10 p.m. Central Time.
Well,
it could be worse.
Hey, and your state is actually in Eastern Time, so your team kicks off at 11 Eastern.
Brother, when I was in Tuscaloosa, we played LSU one night, and it was an 8:30 kick, I think. 8 or 8:30, maybe 8, but whatever it was.
That was the Ole Miss game in 15.
I wasn't
there.
That was like
they went
through a couple of years.
They're saying the temperature is great next week. High is 76 right now is what they're calling it.
Okay, now a 2:30 game is good then. Like 2:30 game today sucked. It was hot, man.
Well, I mean, Ryan's right about that. If it was flipped, it wouldn't be flipped this time. They're not going to go up against Bama and Georgia. Like, that's the part of this. Like, I get LSU gets all the damn night games. exactly right. I mean, I've talked to Michael Thompson about it on a podcast, but they're not going to. They were never going to put Ole Miss LSU head up against Alabama and Georgia, no matter if it was in Baton Rouge, Oxford, or the Moon. So, it is what it is.
What did they put as the ESPN game?
Is it South Carolina and somebody? I don't know. Hold on, I'll give you the times for all of it.
What time was Auburn, Texas A&M? Would they do that?
All right, so we got LSU Ole Miss 2:30, Notre Dame Arkansas at 11, Utah State Vanderbilt 11:45, Auburn Texas A&M against Ole Miss LSU at 2:30, Tennessee Mississippi State at 3:15.
So that's SEC Network, right?
Yeah. UMass Missouri at 6:30 and Kentucky South Carolina at 6:45.
They didn't even put an ESPN SEC game at 6.
No, it's SEC Network and ABC at 9.
Correct. Right now Missouri and South Carolina are playing like on ESPN, but they didn't even that shows you they were clearing the deck for Alabama, Georgia.
Yeah, it's a good week. What time is the Oregon Penn State game? Do you know? Is it 11?
Yeah, I was pulling up the top 25. It's a hell of a week next week. So Friday, Florida State, Virginia, whatever. And then Ohio State, Washington, okay. USC, Illinois, good game on Fox next week. It's not a bad game.
Yeah.
2-3 no teams is right now. Indiana, Iowa next week. Notre Dame, Arkansas, Auburn, Texas A&M, Utah, West Virginia, Tennessee, Mississippi State, Arizona, Iowa State, 2 undefeated teams as of this moment right now in Ames next week. 6:30 on the Peacock and NBC for Oregon and Penn State.
Man, what a day.
So those are head up. Oregon, Penn State, Alabama, Georgia, head up on ABC and NBC.
Yeah, because, the Big Ten does a TV draft, and so I think Fox gets like the first 3 games that they pick, and so, obviously they pick Ohio State, Michigan. I think is there an Ohio State Penn State game this year? Maybe it's Ohio State, Michigan, or Penn State, Michigan. They picked that. So this is NBC's first pick, and because they're getting the whiteout.
Yeah, that's gonna be a great game.
Penn State -3.5 is the early line on that game.
Oh,
wait, I'm getting points?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's I'm betting that right now. I'm not even waiting. I'll be right back.
I'm getting a plus sign?
Oregon plus 3.5 is what ESPN
said. Time out.
It's not posted for me yet. It's not posted for me yet.
If it's posted, I'm just letting you know I'm hammering that.
It's what ESPN says. They've got 3.5.
Yeah, it's not posted yet. I will be eagerly waiting for that to post.
I will be curious to see if it does post.
At Texas A&M -6.5 at home against Auburn next week is the early line.
Kind of like
Notre Dame on the road -6.5 right now against Arkansas is the line ESPN says.
Last one, would you say that one more time?
6.5 Irish Razorbacks.
Oh, what's the total?
I don't have 58.5.
78. Oh, good God, go hammer
it. Hammer.
It starts with a 5?
Yeah, 58.5 is what it's showing.
It doesn't start with an 8. Hammer.
Yeah. No, I literally thought it was going to be close. What was that? Was the Ole Miss Tennessee game? Remember one year it was like 82?
Was that
I think it was the Lane golf ball game. I think the golf ball game, I think the total was 82, which is also the easiest under of all time. But if it starts with a 5, hell yeah.
Yeah, LSU -1.5 is what ESPN is showing right now.
Oh, I hear my guy. Nice ball, Lagway.
Hello.
How are you guys?
We were discussing lines and the fact that the over/under total in Arkansas and Notre Dame starts with a 5.
We couldn't believe that.
Oh, what did Notre Dame do today?
They're
mean,
beating Purdue, maybe.
Yeah, they're still
But they're-
playing. They're a bunch. They're still playing.
They might give up 30 to Purdue.
Oh.
What did Lane say, Neil?
Pleased with this team. Thought they played well in all phases. Challenged the defense last Sunday. Thought they answered. Simmons was available. Would have played if needed. Not 100%. Pleased with Chambliss' play, especially the no turnovers, the no negative plays. That's kind of it. Pleased with the offensive line, no penalties. You know, that they played a clean game. I think, just pretty standard fare after a 45-10 route. I mean, I think, believe it or not, I think he was kind of pissed off about the late touchdown from Tulane. If you really want to know what I think he was still thinking about, I think he wanted 45-3.
Did he? So he did not elaborate on why he said Austin would start earlier in the week.
He did not. And I don't know that anybody in the room was. You know, that scenario is so odd with all of the fans and boosters in there that, you know, nobody really. What are you going to do? You going to challenge him there? Well, you said, and I guess he would say, well, I said I expected him to start.
Mm-hmm.
And then he wasn't ready. I mean, you're going to get into the semantics game, and we all know what's coming this week. He's going to be listed as available. My guess is he'll be listed as probable. I anticipate Lane will say something along the lines of, I expect him to start, and we'll do this song and dance for the better part of a week. And, I wrote this in my column. Everyone's going to have a conversation and a debate, which is fine. It's America, about, who should start, why they should start, and what it all means. And at the end of the day, your opinion doesn't matter. My opinion doesn't matter. No fan's opinion matters. The only opinion that really matters is Lane's, and I don't know that he will announce that before Saturday, and I don't care whether he leaks it to Chris Lowe and Pete Thamel. We'll see Saturday around 2:30 who starts. That's where we're going with this. I mean, I hate to kill all of the suspense on Saturday evening before next Saturday afternoon, but that's precisely where this is going. And at the end of the day, Lane knows the stakes. Nobody wants to win the game more than he does. He'll play the guy that he thinks gives them the best chance to win.
So in saying all that, Neil, who would you play?
I don't know how healthy. I don't know how healthy
Neil,
Simmons.
I need to let you in. So because Chase can't go to the well right now and can't drum up a running back debate, because
You're on your own. You're on your own, Neil. You're on your own here.
He's so clearly better, and he's going to play. Now we've run the toss sweep, and now Chase is just drumming up a
I'm reacting to the stream and just having a large debate about Chambliss versus Simmons.
So
Syski said that you have to make sure you protect next season instead of this season.
That's not what I said. No, that's not what I said. I said you're not throwing this season away by putting the starting quarterback in. So don't put words in my mouth, because these assholes right here will be all over the message board saying Syski said. Don't do that.
I just wanted to let Neil know what he was walking into. Like, this is what you're walking into.
I mean, I said this in the press box. Assuming that they're both fully healthy, I think the ceiling is higher with Simmons. I think the floor is higher with Chambliss. And so you have to decide, A, is Simmons healthy? B, how much do you trust him? C, how much do you trust your defense to keep the game? Where do you anticipate the game going against an LSU team that will be much better defensively than either Arkansas or Tulane? I don't know the answers to those things. Can you run the football against LSU? If you play Chambliss and they stack the box, do you feel like he's precise enough to be really good against very good SEC defensive backs. Those are answers I don't really know because I'm not there. I'm not in the room. I don't really know the answers to those things. But again, I don't think he will make a long range decision. I think he will make a very short term who he thinks gives him the best chance to win Saturday decision.
I do have to give Lane credit for extending the charade as long as he did. Not only did they announce on the jumbotron, not only did they announce when they announced the starters, they announced both Trinidad and Austin Simmons on the starters, and if that wasn't enough, I guess if he thought that he was going to get John real nervous when they went out there, when they received the opening kickoff, he had Austin and Trinidad both standing next to him before Six took the field. I thought that was I was like, how long are we going to do this for? We're about to take a snap in 40 seconds.
I hope I don't know what he did today, but I do know last week he had Austin take all the first team reps in team period and warmups.
Last week I felt Chambliss was going when they came out just centers and quarterbacks. He was Chambliss was the one taking snaps from Sanders. Today, because it was a non-SEC game, they warmed up inside, so we didn't get the benefit of that.
And people keep saying this, and again, we don't know. I've heard that Ole Miss has at least explored him having another season. It's really hard to find exactly what the hell happened with him in Ferris State, but he played 2 games in 2022, which would be your reasoning for that.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
again.
I mean, look, if I haven't heard the show, so I don't know what everybody said. I mean, obviously, the long-term aspect of it, if you are considering that, is at some point, if you don't go back to Simmons, he's going to leave. Again, I don't know all the intricacies of how everyone in that building truly feels about everyone from an evaluation standpoint, all of those things. I mean, I think we're going to get a long way towards an answer on Saturday. But if he's not 100%, I mean, you do have a bye week coming up after this in a world where the ankle's not right. If he doesn't play against LSU, he gets a week off. Frankly, he gets 2 weeks off because Washington State's not going to be competition. So, I mean, you have a chance to get it well. But, I mean, he was bouncing around out there. Look, today I watched him walk some. I didn't notice a limp or anything. And they weren't going to play him. Once he didn't start, he wasn't going to play. I don't know. I mean, Lane said he was available and would have played had he been needed. So we'll see 7 days from now.
I'm kind of on the fly here a little bit. Somebody said the reason why he wouldn't have a season is he was actually enrolled at Ferris in 2021. I have absolutely no idea. Again, I'm doing this on the fly, Googling and texting.
You got
trying
5
to figure
years, again, before all the court cases.
Yeah, I mean, we're in clown car court at this point. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, the normal rule is you have 5 years to play 5 once you enroll 12 hours in a semester, full-time semester.
And also, it's important to note the only court cases the NCAA or the schools, however you want to phrase it, have been winning have been eligibility when you started at a 4-year institution. So even though Ferris State's not a junior college. So like the JUCO guys have been grandfathered while this injunction happens, but almost everyone that's been trying to apply for an extra year that started at a 4-year school has not been getting it.
So again, don't know. He was class of 2021 in basketball.
Hang on.
I just found his hoops highlights. And his hoops highlights were from senior season 2020-2021. So
that's target.
If that is true, then he would have been a college freshman in 2021. Again,
I saw today. Did y'all realize Luke Doty was the class of 2019?
Oh, me and Neil were talking about that. One of the Whitehaven kids is playing for Colorado at linebacker. from when I was at Ole Miss.
It's absurd. Just, I mean, really.
But like, what I don't understand is how do some of these kids get eligibility and others don't? Like, I don't understand why some kids get 15 years and then other kids get 4. Like, I don't get it.
I
don't know.
Wish I had an answer for you, Jeffrey, but I don't.
I'm thankful. I'm thankful that I can't think like that, because that would mean that I was completely illogical, and I consider myself a somewhat logical person.
Let's see. I'm watching South Carolina, Missouri now. I had on Florida and Miami, but I mean Miami is just walking the dog at this point.
Carolina, Missouri went to Carolina, Missouri's half.
This is a typical Florida game, man. It's 10-0 in the second quarter, man. We one pick six away from bringing it back. 1 pick 6 away from bringing a new game.
It's not a fun type of football, Syski.
It is when you hammered. It is when you hammered the under. It's a great way. It's a great game.
Okay.
Well, the other thing that you got working for you is Mario's already got a 2-score lead, so he just can't wait to run the football.
He's already there, and it's raining.
We've covered a good bit of this, Neil, but they're going to yell at me if I don't ask you. What, we talked about all week, potentially close game. Tulane, obviously a very solid, well-coached Group of 5 team. What allowed the level of ass-kicking that happened today?
Just total difference in athletes on both lines of scrimmage. Tulane couldn't block Ole Miss. That was problem number 1 for Tulane. It's a big problem. And, we can do the comparison between, what's the kid's name? Retzlaff or something?
Jake Retzlaff, the BYU. Or now Tulane.
We can compare him to Talon Green if we want to. I mean, they both have 2 legs, 2 arms, and a pulse, but Green's a much bigger threat than Retzlaff was. And Arkansas's front on offense is a whole lot better than what Tulane had. And then on the other side, I mean, Tulane, they just didn't have athletes that could keep up with that. Ole Miss is good. I mean, it's to add to the, the dynamic here, I almost hesitate to go here because we can sort of see where it's going. But, I mean, if Ole Miss wins on Saturday against LSU, they're going to beat Washington State. They're going to beat the Citadel. I think the odds are they'll beat Florida and South Carolina. You can start doing some math here. I mean, their path to 10 is pretty clean. Now, their problem at 10, and I can feel the people like shooting me, is that their 10 in that world isn't great. And so, I mean, no, someone asked, is the LSU game house money? Absolutely not. No, you need to get to the playoff, you probably have to beat LSU.
I'll say it. I'll say it and keep you. I'll say it so you don't have to get in trouble. I think if Ole Miss wins against LSU, they do put themselves in position to do that. I don't.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
dude, my thing is,
Florida's liable to be a shell of themselves when they get by the time that game rolls around, and you're playing with house money when you go to Athens. You're playing with house money going to Norman.
Those are the 2 games that you could lose them hypothetically and win all the others, and you're 10-2. And my point was, it's shaping up to not be the greatest 10-2 ever. Maybe that's enough. I don't know. You guys know more about the national landscape than I do.
What I was going to say is it would turn out to be a pretty similar resume to the 10-2 that Tennessee had last year.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. So like, I think if you get to 10-2 in the SEC, I think it's going to kind of be like the same thing as when Indiana was 11-1. Like, I just never bought that an 11-1 Big Ten team, I didn't care what name was on their helmets, that team was never getting left out. And so I think a 10-2 SEC team is just not getting left out.
And if nothing nothing more than, Neil, we've talked about all the time, is if the college football playoff leaves a 10-win SEC team or a 10-win Big Ten team out, they're going to take their ball and go home. And I think that's – I just don't think they're going to leave. I don't care what the thing looks like. I think if you're in the SEC or the Big Ten, you win 10 games. In
a world where Ole Miss wins next Saturday, they're going to have a hard time not getting to 10.
They would have to have a collapse.
Yeah, they would have to collapse against either Florida or boot it. There you go. Either Florida or South Carolina. They'd have to just fumble one of those games at home, and I don't know that those two teams by the time we get to November are going to have a lot of juice left in the tank. My point was simply like in a world where you beat LSU and they end up going 8-4 or something, you're not going to have a lot of sexy on your resume other than you're in the SEC and you have 10 wins. And you guys are probably right. That's probably enough.
Well, you got to also remember they changed.
Which is another reason why you on Saturday you treat this like a Super Bowl. I mean, you have an open date afterwards, and then Washington State. It's all hands on deck. He's going to play. He's going to play whoever he thinks is the right guy to play. No question about
it's a burn the boats game. I mean, that's a burn the boats game. It's hey, Pat's got ice in there, and we got all the Toradol and tape you can handle. They don't leave it out. Don't leave anything left out here. It's a burn the boats game.
No, it's you might even have to call your supplier and make sure like we got extras. Like it's every like we're going to be prepared, but you got to also remember this: they're going to change the whole scheduling metric. Remember, the playoff committee is going to use the new metric that the SEC and the Big Ten wanted in. So I'm with Neil. Like maybe the 10-2, you'll sit there and go like, well, what's their best win? I don't think it's going to matter. Because I'm with Tyler completely. The biggest threat of all is the Big Ten and the SEC go, all right, we're just doing this ourselves.
Yeah.
It's just too much.
Good night.
Night, bud.
Thank you. Love y'all, chat. Have a great night.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to wrap it in just a few minutes. Because it's been a
chat been worked up?
Do what?
The chat been worked up tonight?
No, not at all. I mean, we had a few moments on the whole quarterback thing. We talked through that a little bit. We're fine.
All right.
You get to spend your whole Wednesday podcast with a quarterback controversy this week. It'll be just great material. Chase has already written it down over there.
I'm going to be the worst one about it though, because it's at the end of the day, like everything that we all think doesn't matter. I mean, it just doesn't matter. No offense to anybody out there or the two of you. I mean, what we think just is completely immaterial.
Well, you're the only one going to be talking about it because Chase doesn't want to dip his toe into it.
I'm the one that brought up. I said, what? Like, I am curious by Austin obviously wants to play, so I'm curious about what level of mobility he needs for him to go to Lane and it be a decision at that point. Like, that is the question. Because yes, if Austin Simmons is 100%, he's going to play quarterback.
Yeah, he makes throws that Chambliss can't make.
Yeah.
Now Chambliss extends plays with his feet in a way that I'm not sure Austin can.
He can't.
No, he's definitely.
And in a weird thing, again, it's free release receivers running crazy, but Chambliss was really good at the second and third level today. One game,
he was.
Whatever, he was great. He was really good today at that level.
Now he made one of those last throws. It went for a TD. I think against LSU, it's a pick. I mean, there was. You're not going to have
11,
right? I think so. I can't remember. It was late, and I was trying to write, and I'm trying to get done, and he made a throw that it was a little late, but I guess it was 11. Made a big time catch, and I was like, man,
he's good. By the way, he doesn't get enough credit.
The kids, 11's good. Look, Ole Miss is good. I mean, that's another thing. I mean, I think they're pretty good up front. They've kind of found a five that work. They've got I think an underrated tight end in Daquan Wright. They're starting to develop some depth at tight end. Haas played a little bit. Bruckler played a little bit. They've still got Odom, who when he's out there is a threat. They've got a bunch of receivers. I mean, Harrison dropped what would have been probably a touchdown. And then Lacey's just a terrific back. I mean, he really is. He kind of checks all the boxes. So, you have these two quarterbacks that are different. And Lane admitted last Sunday that it's different offenses with those two. It's the same offense, but you're running different stuff. So, I mean, he gets paid a lot of money to figure out which one of these guys is best suited to beat LSU. And that's specifically what it comes down to is who gives you the best chance to beat LSU on Saturday.
God, is that true? Austin says $262, cheapest secondary price right now. Oh, boy.
Say that one more time.
He said $262 is the cheapest secondary for next week right now. They get in.
How about that?
Syski's brain's working over here. Oh, okay, I got.
already got two.
What can I do with those? LSU is going to be what, 3 next week when they get here. By the way, Vanderbilt has jumped out now. They're up 21-3, so we can put that to bed. LSU 20-0, 8:18 to go second quarter. Texas now 21-0 early second quarter against the Fighting Chasing Grasses there from Sam Houston State. Let's see. Syski's still waiting on this 10 p.m. kick between Michigan State and USC tonight.
Neil's coming over. We're smoking wings and drinking beer.
Gotcha. I will put really good money on Neil does not see halftime of Michigan State USC tonight.
I'll put good money in the first quarter.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here watching the Cubs Reds right now. I'm completely disengaged from the things you all are talking about.
Well, I saw you. I was about to ask what you were watching because I got all the games on and you said kick it. And then I was like, he's not watching the game. And then you kept whining it. And I was like, oh, he's sending him around third base is what he's doing. He's sending him home.
I was trying to get the red baseman to boot a ball, and he did. But now I'm trying to get Moises Ballesteros to get a timely hit. And it doesn't look likely.
Yeah, I mean, look, guys. I mean, you beat LSU, you at least have a clean path. I mean, you can't. You got to win the games you're supposed to win, but you're going to be favored against Carolina, Florida, and Mississippi State.
Well, even if they lose, because they'll have, even if they lose to LSU,
you win the games you're supposed to, and you win 1 of 3 against Georgia, Oklahoma, and LSU. That's the path.
That's it. It doesn't end if they don't win this week. You know what I mean? Like there's other paths.
No, it doesn't. But it means you have to go win one of those 2 games in October on the road, and those are going to be 2 very daunting environments, as we saw. I mean, you know what's coming in Athens. They're going to have you circled. They're going to be ready for you, and you saw how difficult today it was to win in Norman for Auburn. I mean, you'd love a world where a win in one of those games is just bonus. Is gravy. If you lose to LSU, you have to win one of those 2 games because Ole Miss at 9-3, their resume would have nothing on it. Nothing. I mean, no offense, their resume would suck. I mean, they would have a bad 9-3 resume. It's not completely their fault, but I mean, Arkansas is going to go 4-8. Florida's going 5-7. Carolina's going 6-6. Washington State's horrible. The Citadel's horrible. Georgia State's horrible. I mean, you wouldn't have anything on your resume at 9-3. I wouldn't even. When Lane, in a world where Lane lobbied, I would be like, I'm not doing this. I wouldn't even write it.
Yeah. Oh God. All right. What's our word this week, Syski? What do we give? Like, we're gonna give some away. What's the word this week?
Oh, the word is.
It cannot be controversy. I'm not doing that crap.
That literally was what I was about to say. Why can't we do controversy?
We couldn't do taint last week. We're not doing controversy this week.
What if we do controversy and it's only valid if you spell the word right?
Well, I've done that so far. Yeah, we don't pick misspells. That's one thing we have avoided so far.
You eliminate. With this Mississippi education.
You should have seen some of the spellings of Triscuit. I mean, the Triscuit spellings were special.
I had people send me the word taint misspelled, so I get it.
Tante.
Yeah. I mean, those are the people you're just like, dude, I can't help you. I mean,
how about we can't do controversy? That's so much fun.
Okay, I mean, fun? Whatever, it's fine. Controversy is the word this week. Realtree.com. We're going to give some stuff away. Again, the show has to end, and then you got to send it in some form to a DM, email, chase.parham@gmail.com. Size Ben. What are you yelling about? Yes, Realtree is still a sponsor. Their name is literally on the page with a thing behind it right now. They're doing a collab with Nike and Air Force One. I did not know that, but I will check on that and get details. I was not aware of that, so I didn't know that one.
So what's our guess on the Ole Miss LSU line?
It's currently LSU minus 1.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Penn State giving Oregon 3.5 right now.
Neil, what'd you think it would be?
Kind of thought it might be a pick. Just dead even. Flip a coin.
And he could get there. Got a couple days.
I kind of think I'm picking Ole Miss early.
Yeah. I don't know. LSU just is. I don't know what to make of them at this point. Charles, thanks for Super Chat, says, how are you watching the Cubs? Even Marquee is blacked out for him.
I have Fubo.
Fubo, there you go. By the way, we gave a link on Fubo for the Ole Miss Tulane game today. I do that every week there. They're 24/7. So, all right, controversy. The word this week. So again, we have to be off the show or it doesn't count. I do not consider any people who enter prior to us hanging up. We got we're having a packed week. It's going to be a big week leading up to Ole Miss and LSU. LSU number 3 in the country. As of right now, Ole Miss is going to be like, I don't know, 10, 11, 12, somewhere in there, really high. 2:30 for that one, ABC. Huge day of college football. We ran through the games, the picks, all the stuff earlier, and good Lord, it's a hell of a day. So we'll have that. But today, just a certified ass kicking. Ole Miss 45. Stacy says it's controversy that hard to spell. You would be surprised what we do sometimes. Yeah. Ole Miss 45, Tulane 10 here as
Okay.
South Carolina 14, Missouri 12 appears to be our game going right now. That's of the most interest. Just starting the second half there in Como. So appreciate all you guys. We'll wrap it there right at 2 hours for this show, and we'll be back with you next week again after Ole Miss and LSU around the same time as the Tigers and Rebels both going to be undefeated coming in to Oxford. So thanks as always. Huge crowd again. Love you guys, and we'll talk to you again. So.